Yeah. Turn the radio off right now and listen to The Chris Miles Show.
Check your resources.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning show, the Chris Miles Morning Show.
What's happening, people? What's going on? I hope all is well. We are in the sack with so much to talk about. Everybody, as you know, so much is going on and being said about that of Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son. So quite naturally, we want to put our 10 cents in on the conversation. Sitting in with me as always, I could not do what I do without my little brother. And I call him my little brother because I don't make any decisions without him. Even my personal things that are going on within my family, as I just received a call from my daughter. Quite naturally, he's sitting in, listening, as always giving tangible advice. What's going on with you, Maserati Rick? How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Happy to be home. Happy to be doing the show again, man.
Man, it's glad to have you here. So much is going on being said about the aspect of Deion's son, Shedeur. Quite naturally, as the word is coming out, he was prank called, which, with all of the things going on, is so unfortunate. Like, how inconsiderate can somebody be to prank call this young man and bring more hurt and despair to an already volatile situation? So we're going to go into this. Maserati, let me ask you something. There was an incident where a young man, and we wanted to open the show up by actually paying. Do you have an image of the young man?
No, I can check.
We wanted to open the show up with with the a picture of what was the kid's name? Travis Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a native of Montgomery, Alabama, people, and we had a situation where this young man was unalived by his cousin, and I didn't know him. I heard a lot of great things about this young man, and it turns out that my son worked out with him. All right, and so we just primarily want to take a moment to actually pay tribute to this young man. It is such an unfortunate occurrence what happened to him, especially so unfortunate when family does it. Okay? And this is one of the other things we want to talk about and be adamant about it is what we need to start seeing is these young men and women who look like us put these guns down. You know, try to have some form of diplomacy when it comes to dealing with each other. I mean, as you quite naturally can see, with all of the things that are going on with that of Shadur, gun violence and violence amongst each other is something seriously that needs to cease. But we're gonna put a picture up of this young man just to acknowledge him being a part of this side of the earth. And, our condolences to his family, to the ones that knew him and loved him. Handsome brother, man. And we want to, pay tribute to Travis Jackson, who was in Montgomery, Alabama, who was unaligned by his cousin over a silly dispute, over a tragic, silly dispute. This young brother was a entrepreneur. He had a store too.
A clothing store in Eastdale Mall.
Okay, what was the name of the store?
Rich Life.
Rich Life.
It's a clothing brand.
So, rest in peace, Travis. I didn't know you. My son actually knew you because y'all worked out together. But my heart goes out to his family. I understood he had some kids. And we just want to, right here from the Chris Miles Show, being a native of Montgomery, Alabama, we want to pay tribute, have a moment of silence to acknowledge this young man's presence. Okay, let's get into it. So, Maserati.
Yes, sir.
What's your take on all of this nonsense that has been going on?
Well, if you ask me,
I need you to be honest.
I'm saying I am being. I'm finna be. I ain't sugarcoat shit. I'm just saying. I'm finna be honest. I'm saying it's.
I'm finna come with it.
Man, it's a modern day buck breaking. If you ask me, man, it's a modern day buck breaking. Everybody's upset, has been upset with his antics, Shador. They upset with the charisma Dion, his dad, his brothers, the family brings to the sport of football.
Right.
So to me, this was a modern day buck breaking. If me personally, if I'm a business owner, if I'm a team owner, he's either 1A, 1B top quarterbacks in the country.
Right.
Irregardless, I know he's a kid, so he's going, he's mature. To be honest, he's very mature to be so young, but regardless of his antics and what he do off the field, he's a very professional football player. He's, like I said, he's one or two best quarterbacks in the country. So you either gonna get what Cam Ward. Right. You either gonna draft him first or you gonna draft Shador second. Right. You want to win games.
Right. Come
You
on
want to
now.
win games.
Come on now.
You want to make. You supposed to want to make money. You want to put the fans in the seats. How does the best quarterback in college slip from being a first rounder to a fifth rounder? It's asinine to me.
You know,
That's somebody showing you that I don't care about your performance. I don't care that people saying that you number one. I don't care about what your dad is saying. I don't care about the money that you can possibly make me. We want you to act like we want you to act.
right.
So, but yeah.
So, you know, let me say this, Maserati. You know, the thing is that we titled this show Sanders Scandal. Okay. The reason that is so unfortunate, right, is the fact that dealing with all of the things that we've seen unfold, the media, people such as Colin Cowherd, hopefully I'm saying his name.
Yeah, Cowherd. Yeah.
Cowherd, right. They were the initiators of, I think, all of the bad vibes.
Yeah, he started talking about he get on the podium nonchalant, he wears hat backwards and all that shit. I'm saying, what does that got to do with anything about how he throw the ball, how he perform?
You know, I'm hearing that there was an anonymous source. There was an anonymous source that put out the negativity that was brought forth pertaining to that of Sanders. Like, you know, I think for me, Maserati, what it tangles out to, right? As we always say, you and I, and some of the ones that's within our circle, always admit to the fact that you got your wake up nigga card.
Yeah, you got your nigga wake up card.
So, you know, the sad part about all that is that it doesn't matter how successful you become, how successful you think you are never as big as the system.
Right.
And that's the unfortunate occurrence about that is we're seeing it with that of P. Diddy, Tiger Woods, even your guy, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
Which we're not gonna evade that conversation. That conversation is coming this week.
Right.
Because we got some special guests. I got some. Let me just say this. I got some white females that I'm gonna bring on the show, right? That deal with black men exclusively, and they're going to let the cat out of the bag about I want to call it sexual improprieties, but it's I want to say an aphrodisiac, or it's a high.
Most so like you said, it's a forbidden fruit.
Right, because you told
folks, your folks saying no, we don't mess with them. They bad. Then
right.
Our folks now same thing.
So just to put it mildly,
it entices you.
It's enticing, and it's a different fuck.
Right.
You understand? So I'm gonna bring these white females on, and they're going to define for us the whole matter around that conversation, right. Which is what, in a sense, I think that got Shannon caught up. Yeah. But back to this matter here. So Shador, who, along with his dad, Dion, who turned the program around in Colorado, falls to the fifth round. And the collusion aspect of all that is the NFL owners of these other teams and the general manager, were complicit in the fuckery.
Most definitely. Come on, man.
They were. I mean, how? Maserati, explain this shit to me, man. How? Wait, hold on. Let me say this. Let me get this off my chest. How in the fuck does a young man, him and his dad, go into a program that wasn't winning? They wasn't winning games.
He did that at Jackson State too.
He did that at Jackson State, like Jackson
State. I think Jackson State.
They only lost like 2 games or something.
Yeah, when they first got that Jackson State record was trash.
When he went down to Montgomery, the city of Montgomery in 2 days, brought in an estimate $21 million.
Come on, man.
Off Deion Sanders coming into the city. Now, I got word, me and Maserati got word, right?
Yeah.
That about $8 million of that 21 million was taken. Now, I'm not going to reveal the source. I'm not going to even put out there where the money went. But it was a total of $8 million of that money that came in off of the 21 million that Deion brought into the city of Montgomery, Alabama, that was taken. Disappeared. All right? But the point is what I'm saying is, I'm reading all of the hyperbole out on the web, man. You know, people are saying that he wasn't that good, yada yada yada, so on, et cetera, and I'm not grasping the
that's what I'm saying. How can you say if he got the best stats in college? He won the Joe Namath. He won the award for the best quarterback. How is he not that good?
Pull up his stats. Can you get his stats? Please.
I'm saying, how is he not the best quarterback when he won the best quarterback award? That don't calculate.
Right. But, you know, for me, Maserati, I'm sitting here and I don't know, man. I can't even begin to put this shit.
It was a conscious effort. For all 32 teams, I guess they got on their teleprompters, they Zoom meeting. Yeah, we're going to teach you. I'm saying that's how you know. And people want to say it ain't no prejudice or no racism behind it. You got the first or the second best quarterback in the country. And all 32 teams skipped over him into the 5th round.
Right.
Come on, man.
You know, let me say this.
I'm saying you arguing like you know, you do your thing. You argue with people every day, all day, and how they. I'm saying nobody wants to admit. I'm saying you right by what you saying. They wrong. You don't like him. You don't like him. But you can't take away from you. Numbers don't. One thing about numbers they don't lie. Right. They gonna equal up and add up to whatever it is.
You know, this. I think the solution to the problem, Maserati, is what solves the issue for me, as we must conclude to, is that we are different people. I'm reading all of the comments by other, and what they're saying is, oh man, he's flashy, he's pompous, he's condescending, he's confidence. He have confidence about himself. He has all of the intangibles to be successful. And the whole point is, one guy was on there, I was reading this morning, I guess about 5 hours up, right? This guy was saying, on X, man, he with all this money, you know, listen, man, culturally, we are different, okay? We are a different people. And because different, you should embrace, you don't have to, but you have to understand. Everybody's talking about the kid Cam Ward and all these other kids.
All right, now, here we go.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna give you last year. Okay, we'll do 2024 Miami, Florida.
Right.
Cam Ward, he played 13 games. He completed 305 passes, attempted 454 passes.
Right.
That's 67.2%. He threw for 4,313 yards. He threw for 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 4 rushing yards, and he caught a touchdown. All right. Y'all took notes of that? All right. Shador, last year. He played 13 games. He completed 353 passes, attempted 477 passes, completion 74% completion rating. That's the highest in college. He threw for 4,134 yards. He threw for 37 touchdowns. He had 10 interceptions. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. I'm saying is you can't go wrong with either one of them boys.
Right.
So how you get the first 1A, 1B quarterback in college? You pick Cam Ward, number one. That's cool. How does the second best quarterback in the country fall to 5?
Well,
if it wasn't no collective effort.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, let's put it this way, Maserati. It's like Mercedes and BMW. It's really your preference.
Right. You can't go wrong with either one.
Right. It's a preference. But what I'm saying is, in the argument that you're making versus what we've been getting on all of our social media platforms is that, well, he just wasn't that good. So what I went and did, Maserati, a matter of fact, we might want to pull it up. I'll send it to you if you don't have it already set. Skip Bayless, who I'm not a fan of Skip. Skip Bayless came out, and Skip Bayless was adamant. Skip Bayless talked about the fuckery that went on. I mean, here it is. You got the Dallas Cowboys, right? The Dallas Cowboys, who has nothing for a quarterback, in the fact of Dak Prescott. I mean, you mean to tell me Dallas would not go get Shador? Like, you motherfuckers need if you're not going to start him, Maserati, at least bring Dallas and go get him. New Orleans go get some motherfucker 45 years old and bring this and I mean, do you know the lifespan that this guy has? And New Orleans the same way. They need a fucking quarterback. Yeah. Pittsburgh needed a fucking quarterback. And then, like I told you, it goes to show you the insignificance of these black coaches out there. Like, these motherfuckers have no voice. What they have is a persuasion of color to make it seem like they're part of the solution, when in actuality, they're part of the problem. The reason they're part of the problem because they sit back and they see these things. Like, I'm watching, what's Pittsburgh quarterback? Coach name?
Tomlinson.
Yeah, he comes out Maserati, and he has something to say. Now, why the fuck are you talking now?
Exactly.
Why are you talking now? Where was this before?
Because, like I said, even they had something to say. Tom Brady's supposed to. They paid Tom Brady to train him. He been training with Tom Brady for the longest. Tom Brady with the Raiders ain't say nothing. That's how you know it was collective effort of them old
collusion.
Them old Caucasian men that own them damn teams. They got together and in a Zoom meeting, dungeons.
They were living when it came to Shador. Hey, can you bring up the tweet or from his social media platform that of what Trump came out and said, Maserati?
Let me see if I can get it real quick.
We apologize to people for the coming on late, but you know we on black folks time, so you know how that goes.
Ain't nothing. Even Trump came out and said it's some bullshit.
And you know, one of the other things I'm going to bring up right here in Atlanta, the coach of the Atlanta Falcons' son came out and they prank called. We're going to bring all of that stuff up, people. Just bear with us. Also, too, I want to give a shout out to somebody that I grew up with, Ed. I want to give a shout out to Eddie Haynes. I want to give a shout out to that brother. Y'all bear with us. We actually trying to pull something up that is very significant to what it is that
Here you go. All right, here we go. Are you gonna read it?
yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up on my end, people.
You can read it in his voice.
Nah, I ain't that talented.
Man, but it's asinine, man. It was a modern day butt breaking, man.
Yeah,
A lot of people. I don't. You know, it's like a lot of people want you to, I guess,
Shit, I
ride
can't
to they
find-
beat,
oh.
man. They want you to roll to they beat, ride to they beat. If you can't do it how they want to do it, then you know they kick you to the curb. That's why they blackballed Cam Newton. Because Cam Newton came out. I'm saying this crazy.
Here
Cam
he is.
Newton came out there dressed how he dressed with his hats and his style.
that's his style, though.
And they didn't like it. So nobody wanted to pick him up. He still had a little in the tank. Nobody wanted.
Well,
to
he's doing extremely well with this podcast. So we got Donald Trump on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So Donald Trump said, "What is wrong with the NFL owners? Are they stupid?" Question: Deion Sanders was a great college football player and was even greater in the NFL. He's also a very good coach, streetwise and smart. Therefore, Shador, his quarterback son, has phenomenal genes and is all set for greatness. He should be picked immediately by a team that wants to win. Good luck, Shador, and say hello to a wonderful father. Now, out of all of the negative shit that people say about Donald Trump, we're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about the president. Even he had enough tenacity to weigh in, Maserati,
Exactly.
on the conversation. So even he see the bullshit for the bullshit.
Right.
So if Donald Trump, who's the president of the United States, is seeing this shit and calling it out, that's what he's doing, people. He's calling it out. So if he calls it out, what the fuck is the problem?
Man, they still, they see a young, they hate to see a young black man flashing classy, man.
You know, one of the things Maserati I heard was that people felt like, you know, they say Deion came out and he said he kind of like the Muhammad Ali path. He came out and he said that, hey, look here, my son ain't going to A, B, and C, right?
Right.
And the lesson was, from what I'm gathering, right, is that he was basically being taught a lesson. What's your take on it?
I mean, I got the same take, man, but my thing is, he said what he said because he knows that organization is not ran properly. He know the organization. You got 32 NFL teams. Right. It's gonna be top tier teams. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, lower tier teams. Right. The top, they know, you know, the Cowboys. You know they ran. They always get the best player. The facilities off the chain. They excellent. I'm saying there's some places that ain't ran as good. They don't care. They just care about, you know, trying to make a little money. You know, they ain't attracting star players. I thought this shit about winning, man. But I'm saying that's what it's supposed to be about. So if Deion done played in the NFL, he done been to these facilities. He know these people in the inner circles. He know, like, I don't want my team. I don't want my son to go to a team that's not about winning. So that's his opinion. If he get drafted to, I think he got drafted to one of the teams that he said he didn't want him to go to. Well, but I mean, it's fine. The dude, he was happy when he got drafted to Cleveland. Humble kid, man. But Deion was like, you know, I like what the Cleveland. You know, he tweeted 2018. You know, I like what the Browns doing. They making some moves, but I don't want my son to go there because I'm saying every quarterback that they done drafted in these last couple of years, I don't know, they ship them out. It's some type of scandal. They ain't getting the proper. They ain't getting the proper progression. Well, Baker Mayfield got drafted there. What happened? Yeah, what's up, Johnny Manziel? Johnny Manziel got drafted there. What happened? Tim Tebow. Tebow was the well, he ended up in Denver. I get all of that, but what I'm saying, I'm just saying these is, you know, Cleveland. I reckon it ain't ran pretty good. The facilities, the coaching staff, everything. The ownership is not up to par. Well, but I mean, with all that being said, man, I mean, that's just Deion. That's Deion's opinion. He done played in y'all game. He know the game. So why punish his kid because y'all don't like him? And you know, that's the thing that got me, Maserati, is it carried me back to what happened to me in 2019. Yeah. It takes a diabolical bastard. It takes a diabolical bastard to go after somebody, to hurt somebody's child. Right. And the way, man, we talking about a kid, man. Like as you said, and I'm quoting you, you specifically said that Shador is one of the good ones. Like, this kid, there's no drug scandals attached to his name. There's no infidelities out there with women. He ain't went out and, you know, he ain't got in no trouble. He's done nothing. And this is ain't at these frat parties. No, drunk. You know, this is the thing he ain't wrecking no cars. He ain't doing nothing. This is the thing that gets me, Maserati, and I have to be complicit about this. I have to be complicit. The thing that bothers me about all of these things that we're seeing unfolding with
this kid is, first of all, it's a reality of where we are in this country. But beyond the point of understanding and knowing where we are collectively as a people, and for some of us to get out here and defend it because of us acknowledging that it could be us in that situation or somebody we love. What I find truly problematic about it is the powers to be would make excuses for this bad conundrum that we've seen unfold and justify it. And now that the dynamics of all of those things change, then the messaging behind all of that changes. Like, well, it's really not that serious. But do you know what it's like to scorn and to tear down somebody's morale when they've gone out and they've done the work that should be done based upon what profession that they're entering into? Like, so you got to deal with the stigma of mentally. Like, this is what I'm saying is, if you've ever been put in a situation, Maserati, and somebody say, well, you're just not going to be good at it, or, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, you're trash and all this other stuff. That scorns your morale. Mentally, that's a hurdle. That's also another hurdle that your parents, somebody like Dion, has already prepared his son for this.
Right.
But that's another hurdle, another wall that this kid has to go over. Because now he realizes, one of the things he realizes, if he go out there and he fuck up, guess what it does? It sets the standards of what they've said, oh, he wasn't good enough to play in the NFL.
And this why. Yeah.
And this is why, exactly. And I'm saying kids should not have to function under those terms. If you disagree with the fact of, you know, the kid is boisterous or he's too flashy or whatever, just come out and say it. Just come out and be. The problem with people today is like yesterday. We in on it, tweeting and all this other stuff. This motherfucker came out and said, man, I'm going to go to your bosses and counsel. Motherfucker, I work for myself.
Right.
You can't counsel shit here. Not a fuck thing can you counsel anything pertaining to the Chris Miles show. This is me. This is mine. If it's sink, swim, or fold, there's two people that's running this outfit. That's the man that you see in front of the camera and the man behind it. And the other people that we have attached to our platform. But ain't no motherfucker coming in here talking about, I'm finna counsel you.
Right. And you know, people, they just like, people, I don't know. They just want us to be quiet. Don't look them in the eye. Look down. They want, you know, they want the old days. They don't want a confident young man to come into, you know what I'm saying, this facility. You got to think about it. A lot of these owners, a lot of these NFL owners, they in their 70s, 80s. How old goddamn Jerry Jones is?
Yeah, Jerry Jones, but you know,
so I'm saying they had a couple years ago they had him that scandal where he was out there messing with them black kids trying to segregate. What in Arkansas?
Yeah, when he was a young man.
So I'm saying a lot of them still got that mentality.
But
so they want you to come in there. They the man, you the boy. They want you to come in there and be quiet and yes sir, no sir, which he respectful, but they want you to comply to how they want you to comply.
Right.
They want you to play the game, you know, how they want you to play the game. They don't want you to have no opinion. I'm working for your company. I have to sign a contract. We have to agree on terms. If I come in and I say, you know, they was upset because I guess he didn't go to the combine, he went to pro day, but they want everything to be on their terms, and that's the seed that's been planted. If you don't play it my way, then you trash. I'm saying, I'm signing my life away. I want some of these conditions to go my way. I got to get some out of it.
Right.
I ain't just there to be no workhorse. You know, just like okay, I'll give you an example. NBA Bradley Beal. He worked out where he get a no trade clause. No matter what a team do, how good he play, how bad he play, can't no team trade him unless he agree. He worked something out. He got something, you know what I'm saying, to fluctuate his way.
Right.
So he get his money, plus they can't trade him. He got a no trade clause in his contract. So if you go in and you want to throw, let me throw to a couple players that I know so I can give y'all my best product. What's the problem with that?
So,
because you making demands as a young man, you ain't being disrespectful. You ain't. Come on, man.
Let me ask you this, Maserati, because one of the conversations, one of the things that has come up was that, he went through at the combine. There's so many other things that they are bringing into this outfit to justify him falling to 5. Was just saying that,
it ain't nothing to justify.
No, I get it. I agree.
It's nothing.
But I'm saying, what I'm telling you is that it's so many things that has been attributed to why he fell to 5 in the 5th round. Excuse me. So those things within itself becomes the outfit of, okay, well, this is where things are, and you all just have to accept it. Let me do this, Maserati. Something I want to send you real quickly. Can you man, my head, I'm just terrible headache behind all this shit, man. Did you get that?
I don't know what's coming over. And to see a lot of the comments that a lot of these guys are making, these non-athletes, I'm like I said yesterday, man, a lot of this, if you ask me, in the last couple of years, it's been a lot of black quarterbacks.
Come on, say it. Just say it.
There's been a lot of black quarterbacks coming out and being the leaders of these teams. I don't think a lot of folks like that, because the only thing it seems like the other guys can play is offensive line, tight end. You might have a couple on defense, but the once treasured position, the one position that was the alpha of the team, the leader of the team.
Right.
These, a lot of these black guys are taking it. The pocket pass is dead.
So
the drop back pass and pocket pass is dead. He's no more.
Which is one of the things that you and I were talking about, Maserati, about how the dynamics of the game has abruptly changed. Those things being what they are, has been one of the reasons why we see Shedeur as an effective leader and champion, because he's able to read the defense and he's able to get out of the pocket. And everybody will say, I got some stuff coming over to you. Everybody will say that he got sacked more than any other quarterback. But I think a lot of that had to do with he had a weak offensive line.
He had a weak offensive line. They was rebuilding it. And on top of that, somebody made I commented and said, no matter how bad his offensive line played, he never went over and said anything negative to them guys. He always, spoke them up like, "Come on, guys, we got this. We can do better than this." That's a leader,
Right?
He ain't complaining. He ain't doing none of that. He still put up phenomenal numbers.
Let me ask you
even though he got sacked like that. Come on, man.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that his leadership skills in college transcend to that on a professional level?
Most definitely.
So
I'm saying this man, he's been bred to be a quarterback from Pop Warner all the way into college. His dad had coached him all along the way. He wanted to play quarterback.
Wow. And you know what? I was in conversation. Well, I don't say conversation, but I was back and forth with the guy yesterday, right? And he was saying that was another thing that would be problematic for Sanders because no one has coached him but his dad. So this guy was saying that he did not think or feel that the young man would be able to fit into somebody's system outside of his dad's, and he would not be coachable. So the point of reference here is that I'm hearing so many ridiculous things moving forward based upon folks are trying to justify why he fell to the fifth round. Can you bring up the?
Just say what it is, man. Shit. Y'all don't like the fact that even if he didn't get drafted, he don't need y'all money. His dad had worked hard and sacrificed. And his dad had made sure his family was straight. He ain't need y'all money.
Let me ask you something, Maserati. Let me ask you a question. Do you think? Be honest with me. Do you think that this here has a racist undertone to it? And I wouldn't say undertone. I would say it's openly racist.
Well,
go ahead.
Racist. They use all 32 NFL teams use their power to drop the stock of one individual.
Right.
So, could you say? You could consider it racist because you had other quarterbacks throughout history that was troublesome, that were troublemakers, as flashy, do some of the same antics, or as confident as Shador, and they stock didn't drop. A lot of them went number one. You had Archie Manning come out when Eli was getting drafted to say he can't go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team.
Right.
So, them the facts. Them the facts. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody wearing no backwards hat. It ain't got nothing to do with no jury. He don't get in trouble off the field, on the field. But you got other white quarterbacks that wear backward hats that then got do drunken bar fights, get arrested for DUI, wreck cars, smoke marijuana before games. They get drafted number one. They stock don't get hurt. So yeah, it is.
Is my mic coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, somebody said that they couldn't hear. Anyway, let me ask you this. What fixed this problem at this point, or what fixed this negative aspect of what you and I and everybody else know, that this shit was deliberate and it was done primarily to set a message. What fix do you think that this sets a negative precedent for the NFL once again? Be that the fact of, I think dealing with the NFL, Maserati, especially like with the shit that happened with Kaepernick and some other, I think it's another negative precedent dealing with PR issue with the NFL. So do you, because I mean, people send me shit. Well, you quite naturally, you know this, but we get stuff, me, Gina, you, we get shit all the time pertaining to, hey man, run this, run that, right? Well, do you think that the NFL can recover from this? Because something that you said that was very significant is that it only seems to happen to black players. So is there a PR issue here, or is this shit fixable?
I mean, no, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. We're gonna be talking about it today, tomorrow, and then it'll get swept under the rug, man.
Are we camera one?
Yeah.
Rick. Okay.
It'll get swept under the rug, man. You know, the NFL is too big, too powerful for it to hurt anything. You know.
A lot of people talking about boycotting it.
I mean,
you don't think that'll happen?
They said they were gonna boycott Target, and you know.
Well, they are.
Shit, niggas still in there shopping.
They are, but and it has.
They ain't gonna boycott the NFL. They was gonna boycott the NFL when Kaepernick got blackballed.
I think they did for a while. I mean,
saying,
I didn't really follow.
It ain't hurt him, man.
I didn't really follow that. The thing on him.
It ain't do enough to, you know what I'm saying, to where they had to come issue an apology. It's gonna be. The only thing that comes out of it is that, you know, we just make people aware. You know what I'm saying? We make people aware, and you have to just, you know, learn the game, learn the signs.
Right. Let me bring up that piece.
I got Skip.
Yes, bring that up, please.
I was on the edge of my seat waiting for his name to be called, because he is him. He is he. He is it. He should have gone first overall. And the NFL should be ashamed of itself for what it has now done over 3 rounds of the draft to Shedeur Sanders. I'm so sickened and I'm so saddened over what this league just did to this kid and in turn to his father. I've been doing this for a long time. You can look at my track record on the draft. I'm pretty good, especially at the quarterbacks, at picking the quarterbacks. I would have taken Shedeur Sanders first overall, and I dug in on this before the college football season even started. It was outrageously obvious that he's the best thrower of the football in the draft. He's the best pure passer in the draft. He's the toughest college quarterback I have ever witnessed. The most deadly accurate thrower of the football in all of college football has not been drafted over 3 rounds. The clutchest quarterback I saw in all of college football, again and again and again, has not been drafted for 3 effing rounds of the draft. Why is that? Is it about football or is it personal? The NFL should be ashamed. Shedeur and his father got blackballed, or if you want to call it whiteballed, call it whiteballed. Whatever it was, they got balled out. They got voted out. It's like a secret memo was distributed. Don't take him. Let's teach him a lesson. Let's teach Dion a lesson. You can't act like that. It's got to be personal because it cannot be about football. So if it's not football, what is it? Are there racial undertones here? Racist undertones? But it just stinks. It smells of racist undertones, of too many white people in charge in this league who just roll their eyes at both father and son at Colorado. I think it's personal because I think they said we're going to teach Deion a lesson because you can't have a DJ in the locker room before games and at halftime. I think they said let's teach the father a lesson that you can't let the kid make $3 million a year in college football and drive 3 or 4 different exotic cars and drape himself with all kinds of NFL style high-pick jewelry, superstar jewelry. You can't let him tap his watch. It's my time. Hey, I'm here to tell you, none of that matters. If you can play, you can play. Neon Deion was as brash and arrogant as you could get. But he worked hard at his craft, and he was the greatest cornerback ever, and he backed it up. Nobody ever backed up brash and arrogant more than Deion Sanders backed it up. On the football field, on the baseball field at the highest level, on the track and field at the highest level. Greatest athlete I ever saw was Deion Sanders. Deion is not a detriment to his son. He is an all-time positive. Greatness flows through this kid's veins. He's it. He's a winner. He's a leader. If you spend any time around, he's really a good young man. I don't understand any of this. He didn't interview. Is he confident? Yeah. Is he cocky? I don't know. How do you? Where's that fine line between confident and cocky? Can he back it up? You better believe he can back it up. He was raised around greatness, and he will step onto an NFL field wherever he goes, wherever it is. He's going to go somewhere. Somebody's going to give him some shot. Wherever he goes, he's going to step on the football field like he belongs on it because he was raised to believe he belongs on it. As he tweeted going into the draft, I'm built for this, for whatever happens, great or bad, I'm built. He was built for this.
So,
Wow.
Maserati, there's a lot to unfold in what.
Wow. I ain't never seen Skip so passionate.
So, right. And I have not been a big fan of Skip Bayless. But Skip said that, and he kind of supports or back up what you and I have alleged here, right?
Right.
He said that there were racist undertones. He said the young man was brash. He was earning $3 million while at Colorado. He was flashy and arrogant. And I think realistically, from how we saw this thing play out, and you yourself called it buck breaking, excuse me. I think all of this shit lines up. And this is the other thing I want to say, Maserati, is the fact that when I wrote a piece that was on all of my social media, X, Instagram, Facebook, I said, let me go to it real quick, and we're gonna bring somebody in on the line here, a friend of mine that actually played in the NFL. Let me get to it real quickly. 'Cause we don't have much time.
The NIL, I mean, this is just the beginning. Y'all giving, these college players, high school players, college players, all this money. How do you? And they ain't never had nothing. So they coming. They not rookies.
But
They not. I'm saying they not gonna get the rookie treatment. Just think about so many years. 3 years ago when the rookie come into the NFL, and he get a little contract or whatever. He's starting to make some money off his name. He getting paid. He ain't got all that extravagant stuff yet. You know,
Right.
he got to build this.
Yeah,
money up.
right.
It's a stepping
But
stone.
Shador, the difference
But
with Shador,
now since they got the NIL,
right?
shit, these guys got Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royce on college
Right.
campuses.
Right.
They got all this jewelry. They got money. They got the clothes.
Fucking the pristine top bitches
So
on the yacht.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So when they get, so now these new rookies not gonna be like the old rookies.
Right. It's gonna be out of control.
Shador that's just the beginning.
Right. He is the genesis of what we're gonna see play out
Saban,
with the NIL.
that's why Saban left.
That's why he
college.
left Alabama.
Because
Correct.
he's seen
The
this
direction of where it was going.
Right.
Right. Let me add this, and then I'm gonna make this call, people. This is something that I wrote. It's on the Facebook page. I actually wrote it and put it on there, which it has been shared like over 703 times. I'm just gonna read the top paragraph, first paragraph. I said the NFL is a racist organization ran by zealots. This in NFL Draft 2025, and its hashtag was deliberate and designed to hurt this kid Shador Sanders because they hate his dad, Deion Sanders, and what his dad and son represents. Shador don't come from poverty, and I say, ain't that what the American dream is about? So, I think what's troublesome for the powers to be there is that they're able to make and or break you, right? And the difference is, Maserati, is that they didn't make Shador. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's do this. Let's bring in somebody. Michael, what's happening? How you doing?
Man.
Are you hearing?
Yeah.
Wow, you are in Dallas.
Yep.
All right. You and I had a brief conversation the other day before the draft, and let me just say this, people. This is a friend of mine that played in the NFL. We are, I can say, we're the best of friends. We talk probably twice a week. I love him to death. And he knows Deion and Deion's kids. And he also knows all of the things that the NFL entails because he prepares these kids that are going to the next level. As a matter of fact, he had some guys that was in the draft that were picked up this year. So I'm reaching out to him. Mike, what is your take on all of the stuff that has unfolded with Deion and his son, Shador?
Well, man, a lot of times people think they know what's really going on, and it was a sad situation because the kid can play. Now, they're leaking things out, saying about it in interviews and stuff like that. They always try to knock you right before the draft.
Right.
Do I think it was excessive with him? Absolutely. One thing that surprised me though was knowing that Cleveland had a selection on campus. That was kind of strange to me that they let stuff out like that. Now, some of the stuff that Deion said, people might not have liked it behind closed doors.
Right.
But it just doesn't make sense to me. Third round, you draft a kid from Oregon, and then you wait till the 5th round to draft the door when you already really got 2 quarterbacks in already. So it was just a bunch of BS, man. But I'm on the hunt to find out what's really going on, because I actually have a corner just signed up there in Cleveland 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So he's a vet, been in the league 7 years. I'm gonna lean on him to find out some information for me.
Okay. Do you think what we've seen unfold with that of Deion's son will have a negative effect on his morale? In other words, do you think he'll be able to put this in his past and come back up? Because as I was telling Maserati, where we are at this point, Mike.
You breaking up.
Okay. Hold on. Let's try something else here.
I hear a buzz.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Is he clear? Okay. So what I was talking to Maserati about, Mike, was the fact that this here is a morale crusher. I think it puts added pressure on this young man because now the skeptics are saying that, well, he wasn't just that good. I mean, Maserati read the stats earlier in comparison to some of the other guys that went first round. So this shit within itself doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's neither here or there. What we want to talk about now, he's there, okay? But the point is, and you train these guys every day. I mean, I call you some days to chop it up with you, like, Chris, I got to get back with you, man. I'm out here on the field. This is your profession.
Hold on, let me say
Maserati got
let me say something. I'm saying, wasn't that putting the pressures on? It wasn't putting no pressure on him.
What do you mean?
It'll put pressure on everybody that they drafted in front of him. So
No, okay. This way you got to look at it, bro. Okay. So you already had a knock on him.
Right, exactly.
Let's just go through the facts. Not no hearsay. This is the facts. Last year, Deion made a comment about teams he would not allow his son to play for.
Deion did, right? You talking about the dad?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Okay. That team was Cleveland because of the history they've had with quarterbacks, right?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, you said that.
Okay, so that plays into hand,
Right.
Lo and behold, a year later, the team that needs a quarterback is that team, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So now you got to look at the person that owns the team that really makes all the decisions. Because see, this is what happens with the draft. They get all the guys they like. They have a draft board.
Right.
Okay, they know they got the number 2 pick coming up.
they traded.
They're going to sit up and say, okay, we need a quarterback, right? But they gonna ask that owner what he thinks first. Ain't no moves being made without that owner saying yay or nay. So let's just suppose the coach wanted him, but the owner say, no, I remember that stuff he was talking. You gotta realize these are billion-dollar organizations.
Right.
And they all owned by who? They're not owned by none of us.
Right.
They're owned by white people,
Right.
white men, families. Okay, so some people might not like some of the antics that go on with that particular situation, right?
Right.
Now that goes through that process. So he finally gets picked. Or let's even go back to how that kid prank called him.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that momentarily before we close the show.
Okay. He gets drafted 5th round. Do you know your boy said he didn't think it was any pressure on him? Yes, there is pressure on him.
That's what I was saying, right?
You know how come the pressure's on him? Because now all this hoopla that's come behind him, it's like, okay, then we gonna see. We finna see. We finna see is he really like that? Because see, subconsciously you got to think.
That's what I'm
This
talking
is the
about.
first time this kid is
I
being
ain't saying
coached
he ain't got no pressure.
from the top to the bottom by somebody else.
Right.
You got to take that in the standpoint. Do I think he's going to be able to do it? I think he will be able to do it. I know the family. I just talked to Prime probably about a month and a half ago, conversation, because I was training one of the DBs for Colorado, getting them ready for the draft, right?
Right.
So I know he comes from a great family, God-fearing family. The kid's going to work hard. I just hate the scrutiny that he went through. That's the only thing. And the pressure's going to be, okay, then we gave him a chance. Because you got to realize now when you go into practice, he ain't going to be with the first string.
Right.
He going to be with probably the third string or maybe even the fourth string, because you got to realize they got Joe Flacco there.
Right.
That's it. They just got Kenny Pickett, kid from Pitt. Been in the league, I think, 2-3 years. He was first drafted by Pittsburgh. Then he went to Philly.
Right.
Now he's with Cleveland. Then they just drafted the kid, Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. Right?
Right.
So usually, people don't know this, but usually fifth-round picks are practice squad guys.
They practice squad. Exactly.
Yeah, they practice squad.
Yeah, they practice squad. That's it.
He gonna get up out of it though.
So,
Right. So go ahead.
Yeah, you going to have pressure on him.
And that's, and thank you, Mike, for clearing the airways for me, because that was one of the things that I was actually saying. I was telling Maserati, I said, man, this shit is added pressure. And what I'm saying is unwanted pressure, because this adds another layer of fuckery to an already volatile situation. See, you got to understand something. If he had went in the first round, and they put him out there and there are mistakes to be made, okay, well, they're going to say, well, he's new, he got to get in, he got to learn the system. Man. Let me finish. They dropped him all the way down to a fucking practice squad. So it's like running up the fucking steps at this point. He got to go up these steps to even get to a situation where he's even considered. So you do all of this shit to this kid because he's brash, he's pompous, or that's your perception of him, and to hurt his dad, to send his dad a message? Man, that shit is so unfair, man.
One thing I feel about it, I'm saying you right, it is some added pressure, but I had to go through some stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, in order for me to play. And I went through it, and I ain't had a support system that he got. That dude was built for it. Like I said, the other quarterbacks that got drafted before him, he gon' persevere. He gon' take his little hits.
Will.
He gonna take his little hits. He gonna get the way he need to be. But if all them boys that got drafted before him don't do shit, I'm saying,
oh yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot.
It's bad. It's bad for them.
It's gonna be bad for them.
It's bad for them.
Marrow, I mean, he went to Alabama.
That's what fucked me up.
But that's what I'm saying.
He wasn't no third round pick.
Hell no. Marrow, goddamn, that dude that's about 47 years old. A lot of these, they got pressure on them too. Cause I mean, Shador, he at the bottom, but he finna climb.
I get what you're saying, Maserati.
I'm saying it's gonna sharpen him even more, because he got to go the hardest path.
Right.
Everybody else.
That's
got,
all I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying.
That's the point I was making.
But I think it's gonna make him just a whole bunch. It's gonna make him better. It's gonna sharpen him up. It's gonna make him more deadlier than what he
more
already
precision.
Is. Because like Mike said. Ain't nothing. They ain't giving him nothing.
Right.
He got to figure it out for himself. He got to earn everything.
Right.
Now.
He lost about $43 million.
God damn, man. Ooh. That's the projection. 43 million he lost.
Yeah. So I think what's gonna happen.
Man, my head hurting even more now, man. God damn.
I think what's gonna happen is that he's gonna get there. He's gonna get with Joe Flacco, because to me, history always repeats itself with players. If you really understand this game, Shador is a on-time throwing quarterback. He has great anticipation, right? So if you look at a quarterback like that, now mind you too, the coach that he's going to is great at developing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Now, history always repeats itself, right?
Correct.
So Shador is Drew Brees.
I've been hearing that.
He's Drew Brees. Throws with anticipation, around that same height, you know. I mean, he's played in the cold. Good thing he's, played in Colorado, because it does get cold in Cleveland. The best thing, my prediction is this. He will be the starting quarterback by probably mid-season. But they just made it hard for him. You say they took money from him. Well, you come from a rich family.
Right.
That's how they do it.
Right. He didn't come from poverty. That's
He come from,
right.
so, and I'm pretty sure he's taking care of his money. You know what I'm saying? So he's better. He's better than the quarterbacks they have there now.
Right.
Joe Flacco is going to be better than him because of the knowledge he has of the pro game.
Right.
Because, that's how come you see a lot of people, they're good in college, and they get to the NFL, they don't look the same, because
right.
the NFL is basically a step and a half faster, maybe 2 steps faster than college. And a lot of people don't get acclimated to that speed of the game like that. So I think with Shador, you got to look at who are the receivers up there they have.
Right.
I think one big thing is they need to re-sign Nick Chubb, because you gotta have a running game.
Yeah, you gotta have a running game.
Right.
I really think he's gonna do good. I think this is a great situation, because the simple fact, now if I could get a young man any advice, because I've been snubbed too on draft day by people lying, my advice to this young man would be, keep your head down and grind.
Right.
Don't worry about social media. Because those are all the knocks that they're talking about with you.
Right.
And a lot of times, people don't like to hear this, but I have to, I prep my guys with this stuff. Because I know the questions that they ask you at the combine.
Right.
I can remember, I got some information, because I know a buddy of mine that played at Carolina when Cam got drafted there. He had dinner with the owner, and one of the first questions the owner asked him,
What's that?
You got any tattoos? You plan on getting any tattoos?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm
I
telling
told you, man, these 70, 80-year-old men.
That's how I listen to me. I was having this conversation with my wife, and I told her, I said, you have to realize, when they draft you that high, you are becoming the face of a $1 billion company.
Right.
Come on, huh?
And if it is not pointed toward that team and the shield, and when I mean the shield, I mean the NFL logo, they don't want no parts of that. They don't want no parts.
You said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maserati said it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about the NFL is, you see who they let do what.
Right.
And
So let me ask you something.
Okay.
Let me ask you something, Mike, as we close. Is the NFL racist?
You got some stuff in there, man, that's kind of that is like that.
Okay.
I mean, Man, you got to look at it like this, man.
We just say they
make
show
up
favoritism to certain
65 to
people.
70% of the league, man. And you mean to tell me there's only a few of us as head coaches?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Listen, we can't even find. Do you remember before the Carolina Panthers got sold to the guy he has now? Do you remember Oprah, and this was before all the stuff with Puffy? They put a group together.
Right, I remember that. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather was supposed to be in on that too. I remember. You right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to say that they're racist, you might not want to say it that way, but it is what it is.
Right.
There's no black ownership, and we make up. And the thing about it that, and I'll let you guys go after this, that really kind of irritated me about this situation.
What's that?
Is the way that they did that young man, and the bullshit with that kid from Atlanta getting his dad's eye top and prank calling that young man like that. And all you do is, I made a terrible mistake. Obviously you did. You filmed it. You must have thought it was real funny. The prank call that young man like that.
Right.
What if that would have broke that kid?
Right.
You know
Yeah, we're going to bring that up momentarily as we get ready to slide out of here for the day. I think that was just horrible. What I find interesting about all of that, Mike, is that a lot of people are making excuses for the actions of that kid. And, you know, for me to see something, to experience something like that, or not necessarily I'm experiencing, but to see it, to bear witness to it, there should be major forms of accountability to that, because it equals out to the same thing that what Maserati was saying about, you know, like, you know, if we say the president with the nuclear codes, like, I mean, people are reckless. These people are put in certain positions, and they are reckless with the shit that they do, and especially being around their family members. And those things within itself should be separated. But I'm going to give you the last word, and we're going to pick up on this other. Anything else you want to add to the conversation?
Well, people just, a lot of times in the NFL, the brothers need to stick together better than they do to put up a stand for this. Because when you think about the economic portion that we bring to the table,
right,
a lot of this stuff would be stopped with unity.
I agree. I so agree.
Unity.
Well,
we come from economic systems that somebody throw $2 million in front of us, man. Our family ain't never seen money like that. So then you start to,
Yeah, people lay down their morals. I'm gonna say this, Mike. I think the beginning step, you're there. That's what you do every day. I mean, you train, you prepare. So you being there, have that conversation. Hey, Mike, thanks for allowing us to call you in your busy schedule, man. And hey, man, we'll be back in touch with you soon, man. We appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, have a great day, man.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Maserati, he dropped a bomb in that. So all of the things that we're thinking, being on the outside, levels out to what we said.
Yeah.
It levels out to what we said. Pretty much you said the shit. Bring up before we get ready to close.
I brought the picture. You want to play the video?
Yeah, we need the video. Do the video. What we want to do, people, is it's a 2-hour show, but we want to do Maserati is going to play the video of the prank call that was done by Atlanta's football coach, defense coordinator, and his son that goes to Ole Miss. But go ahead, bring that up, Maserati.
This is Mickey Loomis here, the the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't gonna be nothing to do.
Yeah, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
So, a lot of people are, from what we've been reading on X and some of the other platforms, this is being dismissed. Now, bring up the man's son. There's an arrow pointing at him. But he's being, it's being dismissed as basically nothing. Now, this here, let me get his name. So, the young man name, the coach name is Jeff Ubrich, and his son name is Jack. So let me just read this. Son of Falcons. Hold on, this shit popped up. Son of Falcons defense coordinator right here in Atlanta, Jeff Ubrich apologizes for the prank call made to Browns draft pick Shedeur Sanders. The son of the Atlanta defensive coordinator, Jeff Ubrich, has apologized for a prank call made to Shedeur Sanders on Friday as he waited to be picked in the NFL draft. Now, Maserati, the focus is on this man's son. But his son, can you put that picture on the screen? His son was not the one that made the call. And as the call,
don't matter who made the call.
Wait, let me finish.
Who
Let me
acquired
right, I get it. But he evaded the contemptuous situation of behavior that played out because he moved out of camera view once the call was made. But go ahead, what you was about to say?
No, I'm just saying, shit. He acquired the number. He went through his dad's shit and got the number. So,
or did his dad give it to him?
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe it?
I don't
Okay.
believe
Well,
it.
some people are saying that.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I just don't. I ain't even finna. I ain't even finna be that naive. You know, kids do shit.
Right.
So he knew his dad had all this information. They done seen, okay, just think about, okay, the drama and everything being said on the first night. He didn't get drafted. They did this, what, the second or third round?
Yeah, third round.
So, you know, social media was buzzing. Social media was on fire. So,
right.
you're like, man, don't your dad, got access to this shit? So he probably went and got it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't believe his dad
was complicit in the fuckery.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He was
well,
negligent.
his dad has apologized. His dad has apologized for the matter, and the son has apologized too. But from my understanding, some of the other kids are threatening to beat his ass. Behind this.
Yeah, he definitely needs some street justice.
Yeah. So as he said, catch a fade. He need to catch a fade.
We need Aaron the plumber.
Yeah, we need Aaron the plumber to see about it.
We can't, you can't suspend him. You can't lock him up. It ain't.
But he can't get his ass whooped.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can get them hands put to him. We don't advocate violence over here, but there's people around there talking.
Yeah. Well, Maserati, we're pulling for him. We are fans of Deion as they say, legendary. We are fans of what they have created.
Oh yeah.
And accumulated. We support him, and we just gonna sit back here on the Chris Miles Show and see how everything plays out, and hopefully, as Mike, one of the trainers for the NFL, it was saying that that it's definitely the buzz there, and so hopefully he come from the stage that he's in, and I'm sure he will. I think a lot of this was just primarily set up to fuck with his money.
I don't even think it was about the money. It just, like I said, it's a butt breaking, man. They wanted to humble him.
Yeah, but
they wanted to humble him. But you can't humble somebody that he done earned everything, every aspect of his life, everything he acquired. He earned it. He earned it.
Right.
He put his skills to the test. He passed the test.
Yeah.
They just, like I said, man, them old guys, man. Like Mike was saying about, that's one of the things they asked about. Do you got tattoos? Because when you drive by these stadiums, you got a big stadium 100-foot picture of the stars, of the players. So. They want
a certain image.
They want a certain image. They want a
Chick-fil-A image. It's
they want
understandable.
their shit ran how they wanted to ran.
Right.
So they just want to try to knock
and I understand this presence is everything. Listen, people, thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back in here Wednesday. We are back. We want to thank one of our sponsors, Philip O'Reilly Funeral Home in Montgomery, Alabama. That affordable eyewear. We want to thank these people for riding with the Chris Miles Show. If y'all got any products, anything that you want to get out there, get at us. You can DM me. We're going to have that information, if not this week, sometime next week coming up, how to contact us about putting your products on this program. And we are live streaming. So we're Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Most High willing. We'll see you guys back here Wednesday. Same time, different topic. And thank everybody for tuning in. And once again, I want to thank Mike for allowing us to call him and be a part of the Chris Miles Show. Everybody out there, be blessed. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you guys back Wednesday.